Well, the Labour Party already embarrassing this country on an international scale, at an international level, and this centres around the US election. And look, I get it, certainly Donald Trump isn't to everyone's tastes. Personally, I like him. I think the world will be far less dangerous if he becomes US president again. But look, just looking at the UK national interest, regardless of who you like personally out of Trump, Biden, Harris, whatever, just look at the evidence that Joe Biden had absolutely no interest, and I've not seen any evidence that Kamala Harris does, in doing a trade deal that could benefit the UK, which is a massive contrast with what Donald Trump was saying. Clearly a Trump presidency, in my opinion, much more in the UK interest than a Biden or Harris presidency. You know, there's a lot more to being a serious politician than silly name calling. You'll notice, by the way, on my channel, very rarely, if ever, do I launch personal attacks on people. Ideas, fine, but I think people generally now are way too emotional. And, you know, David Lammy, for instance, showing himself to be a bit juvenile, really. You've seen previous comments, ridiculous, obscene comments that he made about Donald Trump. And then actually when he becomes foreign secretary, has to go with his tail between his legs on a charm offensive with US Republicans and Trump allies after making those ridiculous comments. Now, why this is all so important is because it is undoubtedly going to be much closer, the US presidential election. Now it's Donald Trump versus Kamala Harris versus if it had been a Trump versus Biden. But just note this, the latest forecast, very credible forecast, has Trump with a narrow lead. So I think it's going to be fairly close, but I think Trump still is the slight favourite. So bear that in mind when you see this absolutely ridiculous decision from the Labour Party in this country, that it seems a delegation of 100 current and former Labour staffers are going to go and campaign for Kamala Harris. Predictably, that's caused absolute outrage with US Republicans, and the quote there that apparently went out was that there were nearly 100 Labour Party staff, current and former, going to the US, going to some crucial battleground states, or even talk, could this actually break electoral law or not? The Telegraph reporting there that current and former Labour employees who make that trip are at risk of criminal prosecution and fines under strict rules to prevent foreign interference in elections. Nigel Farage there speaking out, saying this is direct election interference by the governing Labour Party and particularly stupid if Trump wins. Who is paying for all of this? So yeah, I think that is pretty embarrassing from the Labour Party. Do let me know what you make of that though in the comments below. I will of course keep bringing you all the latest on this and much more. So please do like this video a quick thumbs up, and of course as ever, cheers for watching.